Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Well, we've previewed the series. Now let's get to Game 1, guys. Any bets worth making here in Game 1? Brian, you already said you took a parlay with Golden State in Game 1, and you parlayed them to win the series. Do you see value with Golden State? The line is -7. The over-under is 226. And let me just preface that if I talked to Chris when we were off air, Chris Andrews was in here earlier, the books around town, I've talked to a lot of books, and everybody's been crying about the NBA playoffs because we've never seen anything like this. It's been favorites and over, and they've just been getting killed by not the sharps, but the average Joes, because that's what they bet. They bet who's supposed to win, and they love betting overs, and that's all that's been coming in. Do you see any value in either of these numbers?
I'm going to talk about the total, and I've talked to a few guys who are really sharp, and they're traditional handicappers, and they said all these games have gone over, the line's too high, the public keeps betting the over, they come in and bet it more, and they said you've got to be able to zig when everybody else is zagging. The problem is, if you analyze the way the game should be played, it's going to go over because Golden State's going to have so many three-pointers that Cleveland can't get out there and cover them on. I like the over. I like Golden State over points, 116.5. And I also like the, I believe it was 116.5. And then Golden State, the over in the entire game. I just think Golden State's going to have a nice offensive game here.
Ralph?
A couple numbers just for people to have in their heads. On the year, Golden State, I just went back through and looked what Golden State was as a 7-point home favorite on the year. Straight up, they were 42-5. Surprisingly, at home as a home favorite of 7 or more, they were 22-3 against the spread. Cavs as an away dog of 7 or more, 0-5 straight up in ATS. 3 games LeBron didn't play. 2 LeBron did play at Golden State, at OKC, and they failed to cover both as well. I agree with Brian, the over for the game, but my best bet would be first quarter under 58. I think we're going to have both teams feeling each other out. You've got different lineups than you had the last couple years. I think there's an intensity and a rivalry now situation in this game. You know, 58 would break out to 232, so it's a little higher. Of course, the first quarter is. I actually like under for a slower scoring game. Last year, the first 2 games at home, 52 points and 40 points, the first quarter scoring in the first 2 games of Golden State. But I like under the 58.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a slow starting game. And I think that this is a game that you can make money in-game wagering. And what I am going to do is I agree with you, Ralph, that they're going to come out at a slower pace. You've got these 2 teams haven't played in how long? I think it's ridiculous how far they have these playoffs spread out for the start of this. Then you've got the fact that, as you said, there's different lineups, but you've also got guys that are doing, the coaches are doing X's and O's because everybody knows what they think they're going to do. You're going to want to come out and show something a little different to start. I mean, you've had a week to prepare. You're going to have some new wrinkles, so you're going to have to adjust to that. When you start this, that first game of the series, it's like a boxing match. You know, you come out with you're not throwing your haymakers. You're out there jabbing and feeling each other out. So first quarter under, first half under. But as you're sitting there, and if they get off to that slow start, which we've seen so often with the Warriors, you know, their games start out the first quarter, oh, okay, we're on a good pace for an under, and all of a sudden they have a 6-minute spurt that there's, you know, 25 points scored, and they're now way over the over pace. Let them get off to that slow start. Have your under at the beginning, and if they do get off to that slow start, go into the end game and bet the over on the adjusted number because they'll start bringing it down, and then you'll have yourself a nice, you know, some nice middles there on the second half. And I think that you'll see the pace pick up in the second half with the scoring, so you can get an adjusted number on the total.
Well, since he loves to argue with me on these points, Cleveland, I believe, is the top scoring offensive team in the first quarter. And the reason being is they all, you know, they come out, Kevin Love, LeBron tries to get everybody else involved early. And if they continue to do that, you may struggle with the under. But it makes sense to me. But the point about betting, the live betting, is if you're able to do that, you can make a lot of money doing that in this series, I believe.
All right, guys. Hey, don't forget, you want to save $10 this weekend? Use coupon code NBA Finals in the number 10. That's NBA Finals in the number 10, and you'll save $10 off any package. We're going to be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.